Yes, sir. Thank you. Good afternoon, students. Yes, good evening. Very good evening. So, today our main focus will be to cover or help you in your revisions. I hope you have kind of finished your revision or at least the topics because the list of topics was already provided to you. So we will not get into the basic understanding because it will be assumed that you know the basic understandings of the relevant topics, and we will go and work out some questions to get the confidence, because as we had taken up or discussed during the regular classes that you will have to manage the time and work out a lot of questions to get the confidence, right? So what we said is what we are going to implement it now by working out some problems and seeing that whether we are getting the right answer, and if we are not getting the right answer, what should we do to get the correct answer. Okay, so that is the objective of these revisionary classes. This is specifically drafted or created by the institute so that during your revision, also we are with you so that you know at what stage of revision you're there and how much of more in-depth studies, if it is required, you will have to do it. Okay, so are you ready? Are you prepared? Have you gone through these topics? So today we are going to discuss on two topics. One is exemptions itself being long, but we will take up the important exemption questions. And in the second half, after the break, we will take the topic of value of supply. Okay, so these are the two topics which we will cover in this session. Okay, so we will make this interactive because this is not a regular session where the speaker or the faculty teaches and you just listen to it, but this will be an interactive session because this has to be an interactive session to get the complete gist of it, because you have questions and then you have the answers which will be shared by you. You could either share it most effective mode will be that you unmute and give your answer, because the answers will be theoretical and some will be practical questions. You will have to jump in and give your answers. So wherever you are not in a position to discuss or talk, there you can type. But otherwise, if you're in a position where you can talk up, please talk up and give the answers. Okay. Are you all ready? I hope the chat is not disabled. I'm not able to see much answers. Yes, Lalisha is ready. How about others? Somya, ready? Very good. Yes, good, Miss Kushi. Nice. So many people are now ready. Great. So let's start off with the first question. My screen is visible, right? Excellent. Okay. So what is the first question and what do you think is the answer? An individual acts as a referee in a football match which is organized by Sports Authority of India. It is famously called as SAI, Sports Authority of India. It is organized by Sports Authority of India, and he has acted as a referee in that football match. He's also acted as a referee in another charity football match, which is organized by a local sports club in lieu of a lump sum payment. Discuss whether any GST is payable on the activities undertaken by him. Okay, Ishan has given the correct answer. Okay, Astha Sethi also right answer. Yeah, Somya also has given the correct answer. Mr. Manivanan has given half answer. You will get only half the marks. So if you give an answer, then it will be complete marks. If you give half the answer, then it will get only half marks. Pooja is saying a different answer. She's saying not exempt, it would be taxable. That's interesting. Why will it be taxable? Taxable. Miss Ram Dulari also. Lalisha is saying services recognized by sports body by individual is exempt. To recognize sports body is exempt. So in first case, GST is exempt and local sports club is not recognized body. So GST will be payable. You're right. Correct. No GST. Harsha Da has given a very different answer. No GST is applicable on local sports club as it is a charitable purpose under 12AA. Where is it said that it is a charitable? It is charitable, but it's a charity football organized by a local sports club. Okay. And it doesn't get exempted under the charitable organization because the entity here, who is the service provided? The service provided this is this individual who is acting as a referee. Okay. But that exemption by the charitable organization is when they collect something. Okay. Here they are not collecting anything. The person who is providing is the per individual. He is not a charitable organization. So that exemption, Harsha, will not apply to this referee. Okay. So the other answer which was given and which was given by mostly others also is correct, that this individual who acts as a referee in this services provided to recognize sports body by an individual inter alia as a referee in a sporting event organized by the recognized sports body is exempt. Okay, this will be exempt, but since in the first case the football match is organized by Sports Authority of India, which is actually a recognized sports body, services provided by the individual is exempt. However, when he acts as a referee in a charity football match organized by a local sports club, he would not be entitled to the aforesaid exemption as a local sports club is not a recognized sport body and GST will thus be payable. Okay. As per C entry number 60, very nice. Mr. MA has given the correct, accurate answer that according to notification number 12 bar 2017, whenever you get exemption notification, you, even if you don't know the entry number, because you're not expected to know so many entry numbers, so that is fine if you don't know the entry number, but you mention the notification number. All the exemptions are coming through for services which is relevant for your exam is coming through notification number 12 bar 2017 central tax rate, right? Always write this notification number 12 bar 2017 central tax rate, wherein services provided by to a recognized sporting body by players, coaches, or referees are exempted. Okay. And Sports Authority of India is a recognized sports body under the GST law. Therefore, the services are exempt in the first scenario. Okay. Good. Many of you have given the correct answer. So don't get confused that if it is for a charity football match, it is for charity purpose, so it gets exempt. No, it will be taxable. Second question. Yeah, I need some volunteers here because this will not happen otherwise that you're only chatting, sending a reply on the chat box. I need a volunteer who can read out this question. Who will read out the question? Just the question, not the answer. You can raise your hand. Aksa Banu. Okay, Aksa Banu, you can read it. Can you unmute yourself? Please try to unmute yourself. Yes, can you read it? No, your mic has a problem. Try speaking. No, no problem. I think some problem with your mic. Mr. MA, you can try.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening.
RXL Private Limited manufactures a beauty soap with the brand name Forever Young. RXL Private Limited has organized a concert to promote its brand. Mrs. Ahana Kapoor, its brand ambassador, who is a leading film actress, has given a classical dance performance in the said concert as a part of her service as a brand ambassador of the company. The proceeds of the concert worth rupees 1,20,000 will be donated to a charitable organization by Ms. Ahana. Examine whether Ms. Ahana Kapoor will be required to pay any GST for classical dance performance given in the said concert.
Good. Thank you. The right answer. I don't want to reveal the right answer. I want to tell wrong answer. Just people who have not given wrong answer, I'm prompting them to recheck your answers. Lalisha, right. Right. Ishan Best also right. Pooja also has given the right answer, but the reasoning is wrong. Yeah, you're right. You're right. because is this even though the limit, right? So, okay, let me see some more answer. It'll be right. Soumya has given the right answer. Kushi Gupta. Hmm. Okay. Is also given the correct answer. Sunil Kumar has given the correct answer. Yeah. Yeah. Manivanan is given a different answer where he says that, sir, if there is any classical dance performance, okay, since there is a classical dance performance, then it is taxable if the value is more than 1,50,000, sir. Here she is charged less than 1,50,000, so this is exempted. MA is again giving a reference to the notification number and is saying, okay, let's reveal the answer now, that services by an artist by way of performance of a folk or classical art form is exempted provided the consideration charged is not more than 1,50,000 rupees and the artist is not performing as a brand ambassador. So it should not be performed as a brand ambassador. But in this case, the performance is provided by way of a brand ambassador. Services by an artist by way of performance in a folk or classical art form of music, dance, or theatre are exempt if the consideration is not more than 1.5 lakhs. However, such exemption is not available in respect of services provided by a brand ambassador. So if you provide services as a brand ambassador, even if you provide classical art form, still it will not be exempted, it will be taxable. So since Miss Ahana Kapoor is a brand ambassador of Forever Young Soap, manufactured by RXL Private Limited. The services rendered by her, even by way of a classical in a concert to promote its brand, it is not eligible for the above exemption and thus it becomes liable to GST. Okay, that is first fact. Second is they have also said that she is collecting that and giving it to a charitable organization. Doesn't matter because GST is chargeable at the source, not at the end use. So if it is chargeable at the source itself and she donates it to the charity, she can donate it, no restriction, but it will be liable to GST. She will have to pay GST and then she can donate it to the charity, no problem. Okay. So just because she does some charitable work, don't get carried away, don't get emotionally attached. It will still be civil. What is the meaning of accreditation to an institution or profession? Where does it say accreditation? Clear? Okay, related to which exemption then? Okay, so this we are clear that when you are acting as a for doing any performance as a brand ambassador for any value, here they have given you 120 just to confuse. Don't get confused. If you are getting even 50,000 rupees, that will also be civil. Educational. Okay. Ishan, this question is what is the meaning of accredited to an institution or profession, right? So when they are accredited to an institution or profession means when they are attached or kind of engaged with the institution or profession. That is the meaning of accreditation to an institution or profession. Okay. Next question. Who had raised the hand that time? I think, Mannavalan. Manivan, right? Yeah, you can read this question.
Indiana Engineering College, an educational institution, has conducted an entrance test examination for various courses run by it for obtaining qualifications recognized by law for the time being in force and charged entrance fee from the applicants. Determine whether the Indian Engineering College is liable to pay GST at the same.
Good. So is it liable to pay GST on the entrance test examination? Yeah, Lalisha uh, given the right answer. Not liable? You mean to say not liable to tax or not liable to exemption? Yes. Yes का मतलब क्या हुआ दुरारी जी? Yes taxable या फिर yes exempted? Entrance exam educational के लिए it is covered under the exemption, right? That what is taxable and what is exempted. Educational services are exempted, and services provided by an educational institution by way of conduct of entrance examination against consideration in the form of entrance fees are exempt under GST. Since in the given case, services provided by Indiana Engineering College, which is an educational institution, are by way of conduct of entrance examination against this entrance fees, the same is exempt and thus not liable to GST. Not and GST is not payable in this case. So when you're writing yes, no, yes, it is available. So what is available? Be careful because you can say yes, tax is available, or you can say yes, exemption is available. So you have to write it in proper terms so that the examiner gets what you want to say. You may want to say it correctly, but you may write it in a different manner. So just write it correctly. Yes, so it is not liable to GST. Good, good attempt, Mr. AMA. You're giving a proper noting with highlighting of the important terms. Good way of presenting. Entrance fees charged by educational institutions for conduct of entrance fees, entrance exam will be exempted. Right. Okay. Let's move to the next question. Bablu Transporters, a goods transport agency, transported relief materials in a goods carriage, which is meant for victims of Kerala floods, a natural disaster by road from Delhi to Ernakulam. For a company, Bablu Transporters is of the view that it is not liable to pay GST on the said services provided as said services are exempted. You are required to give your expert advice it on the and advise Bablu Transporters on the said issue. Correct, Ram Dulari. Lalisha, correct. Yeah, Soumya, right answer. Ishan Best, right answer. Pooja, right answer. Manivanan, right answer. Yes. Khushi, right. Okay, this chat has become little clumsy. Mr. MA, again, right answer. Entry number 9A of 12 bar 2017. Right. GST is covered under RCM. Oh God. So Rangula is saying that it is exempt, not exempt doesn't matter. It is covered under RCM. So GST has to be paid by the company because Pablo Transporters is a transporter. If it is exempted or it is payable by the under RCM, Pablo Transporter does not have to pay. Is that the correct thing? Yeah, Pooja, right. Asta Sethi, right. Sunil Kumar, right. Right. Prashadi, Shifmola, not exempt as transported by road. तो अगर transported by road है, if you see the exemption slides what we had shared, right? There is something called as relief materials. Okay, we had said that there are special category of goods. Even if a GTA transports by road, still it will be exempted, and relief materials is one of them. So if somebody transports any relief materials, services provided by a goods transport agency by way of transports in a goods carriage of relief materials, which is meant for victims of any natural or man-made disaster calamities are exempt from GST. So any relief materials, any milk products, any defense products, all of this are the specified category of the exemption wherein if a GTA is providing these specific services, then it will be exempt under GST. So one of those exemptions is relief materials. इस केस में relief materials transport हो रहे हैं, so that will be exempted. Here, Miss Shifmol. Next question. Understood. Nice. Keenan Enterprises and event organizers provided services to Breathing Wall Limited by way of organizing business exhibition in New Delhi as part of Make in India initiative. Keenan India claims that it is not required to pay GST as the service is provided by way of organizing business exhibitions are exempt from GST. Examine the technical veracity of the claim of Keenan Enterprises in the given case. Correct, Miss Pooja. राम दुलारी रॉन्ग आंसर. ये थोड़ा ट्रिकी है. Ushi is also giving the correct answer. Manivanan, correct. But what is the reason for your answer? Just your opinion doesn't matter. Well, you have to give the reasoning. Harsha Indeep, right? But reasoning दीजिए. Shifamola, reasoning, right. आपका reasoning correct है. Wrong answer ईशान. मेक इन इंडिया के लिए कुछ एग्जेम्पशन है आपके हिसाब से? Right. MA, correct answer. Got it. Reasoning दीजिए क्या है फिर? Right, Lalisha. Soumya, right answer. Mohammad Farhan, I think it is exempted. नहीं. Wrong answer. Yeah. हाँ, correct है अक्सा बानू. हाँ, Harshdeep, some related answer. Right. So what somewhere you have given the right answer, but आपका reasoning गलत है बस. The claim made by Keenan Enterprises that it is not required to pay GST is not correct. Services provided by an organizer to any person in respect of business exemption are exempted only when the business exhibition is held outside India. This is the main reason. If they hold any exhibition outside India, the place of supply is also outside India. That's why it is exempted. But if you do any business exhibition which is organized in India, then it will not be exempted. Yes. तो आपको रीजनिंग भी करेक्ट देना पड़ेगा. Correct. When exhibition held outside India, then it will be exempted. Correct. ठीक है निधि जी, यू कैन स्टिल कंटिन्यू. तो यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन आंसर्स चलेंगे, उसके आंसर्स आपको देने हैं. Okay, so this exhibition which is conducted outside India will be exempted, but within India it will be taxable. Okay. So these were the set of questions which was provided by the institute. Now I have myself prepared some questions which are like a question, not just question and answers theoretical. You may have to work them out. Okay, let me share that. And for this, you will have to work out the answer. Essay theoretical, आपको, you may not get it. Fine. Few questions to start off will be easy, but later on, as we progress, it will be a little tough. Okay. But I'm sure that based on your preparation, it will be easy for you. Yeah. So this is a MCQ, first one or two questions. Very simple, which we have discussed already. It is from that itself. Yes, sir. वर्ड डॉक्यूमेंट विजिबल नहीं है. Last portion. Let me share again. अभी अभी विजिबल है. नाउ right. Mostly everyone has given the correct answer. Which of the following services are exempt from GST? Services by an artist by way of performance in folk or classical art form of music done where consideration does not exceed 1.5 lakh. That is the correct answer. Second question. Right. Option D. Soumya. Option C. Second one, Lalisha. Museum. नहीं. Previous one. Okay. Very much people are confused for the second answer. Second answer is service by way of admission to recognized sporting events where the admission tickets cost rupees 600 per person is not exempt, because where you have a recognized sporting events, the limit is 500 rupees, but if it is more than 500 rupees, then it becomes taxable. But admission to museum, national park, and tiger reserve, there is no limit. It is exempt for any value. Okay. So that's why first, second, and last is always exempt. And third one is taxable because the for recognized sporting events ka more than 500 rupees, it will be taxable fully, not only on the differential, it will be taxable on the whole value. Yeah. Third one, Mr. Panduranga booked a Kalyana Mandapam in Tirupati for his daughter's marriage. Rent of the premises is rupees 20,000 rupees per day. He has booked few rooms nearby the Kalyan Mandapam for accommodating the guests. Rent of the rooms is rupees 850 per day. Which of the transactions are taxable or exempt? Entrance fees for entrance examination is only exempt, or the exam fees charged by the institution? Both are exempt. Correct, Aksa Banu. राम दुलारी, तो आप क्या बोल रहे हो? पूजा, राइट आंसर. सौम्या, करेक्ट आंसर. यहाँ पे दो चीजें राम दुलारी जी. वन इज द हॉल रेंट प्रेमाइसेस एंड सेकेंड इज रूम. आपको दोनों का बोलना है. एक क्वेश्चन में दो क्वेश्चंस हो सकते हैं. करेक्ट किशोर, राइट आंसर. शुड बी करेक्ट आंसर. ओके, करेक्ट आंसर. बट जब हम आंसर देखेंगे, यू मे बी ए लिटिल शॉक. ओके. थर्ड वन, the answer for third one is renting of Kalyana Mandapam is taxable because, as you're all saying the right thing, the limit is 9,999 per day. In this case, they have charged 20,000 rupees, which is more than 9,999. So it is taxable. Renting of more rooms is exempt because there the value is 999 rupees. Since the value is less than 999, which is 850 rupees. So that's where renting of rooms is exempted. सुनील कुमार, उल्टा बोल दिया आपने. Renting of room is taxable and Kalyan Mandapam is exempted. Kalyan Mandapam is taxable and room rent is exempted. Correct. All right. Again, notification number 12 bar 2017. Correct, MA. Renting is exempted, mandap is taxable, right? Okay, next question. Question number 4. Messrs. X Trust, which is registered under 12AB, providing services of advancement of skill development to various companies. Messrs. X Trust is not paying GST by the notion that services related to advancement of skill development are exempted under GST. Is their contention correct? But services provided by charitable institution, all the services provided by charitable institution are not exempted, Asta. Only services which are in the nature of the charitable thing, only that is exempted. Okay. So they are not providing charitable services by letting out the premises for rent. That is a separate category. So first category is activity of charitable nature. They everything is exempted, but renting of room doesn't get covered under charitable activity. There is a separate exemption wherein it says that if there is a renting of the premises, then up to 9,999. If it is renting of room up to 999, then renting of shops up to 9,999 per month. So there are limits. They don't get covered under charitable activities. Aksar Banu, you're right. Ramdulari, wrong. Yes, renting is not concerned with 12AA or AB, right? It is not at all. But the limit, like if I give rent, a company gives something on rent, then it will be taxable for rupee one. But the charitable entity providing these services, then it will be exempted if they are providing within the limits. It will not be a charitable activity, but through a separate exemption, they are getting this benefit. Shift Mola, right? Should be right. Not exempt puja, but why? Yeah, Mr. MA, you're right. Right, Miss Kushi. Yes, yes, Ishan, you're right. Better, because there's only one notification, Miss Shubi, so better mention that notification. Right, right. So the answer for the fourth one is X is liable to GST because services related to advancement of skill development provided by charitable trust to specified persons only is exempted. In this case, it is not provided to specified persons. Specified persons means any persons who are above the age of 60 years living in resident rural area, then who are physically or emotionally incapable. So only those category of people will be exempted. But in this question, if you see, they are registered under 12, the AB providing services to various companies. Companies are not specified person, so it will not be exempted. It will be taxable. Correct. And abandoned, orphaned, or homeless children. Next question. Mr. A met with the accident and was admitted to the hospital. Mrs. A is staying with Mr. A in hospital to take care of him. The hospital provided treatment to Mr. A and provided food facility to Mr. A. Mrs. A is taking food from the canteen, which is maintained by the hospital. A GST officer demanded GST for the food facility provided by the hospital to Mr. A and Mrs. A by stating that it is not a healthcare service. Is this contention correct? Not correct. Nidhi is saying taxable partly. Okay, right. Correct, Ishan. Ram Dulari is incorrect. Your answer is not correct. Correct, Soumya. Wrong should be correct, Aksar Banu. Correct, Kushi. Mohammad Farhan. Right answer. Sahil Saleh, Bibi Malik. Correct answer. Dhanush, half correct. Half correct. Shifimol, correct. Correct, Mr. M.A. Nidhi, wrong answer. Outpatient. You have to treat it like a outpatient. Correct, Miss Pooja. Somya. Black box. I don't know why does it appear. Correct, Kirti. Right. So Mr. A met with an accident and he is admitted to the hospital. Now, who is getting the treatment? Mr. A is getting the treatment, right? So, food facility provided to Mr. A is part of the composite supply of healthcare and it is not separately taxable. Since healthcare is exempted, the food also becomes composite supply, so that will be exempted. But Mrs. A, whatever she is buying from the hospital's canteen, that will be taxable because she is not availing the healthcare service. Mr. A is taking the healthcare service. Okay. Can we make an assumption that it is assumed provided by charitable institution? In this question, doesn't matter because healthcare services is specific than the charitable. Charitable is a very generic thing, right? But healthcare is specific, so you will have to go to the healthcare service exemption, not the general charitable exemption. Okay. Next question number 6. Right. Circus, you all know, right? If I open the answers, you're getting that black box. So I'll not open up your answers. I'll go to the question. Answer to 6 is yes, taxable under GST because the consideration amount is more than 500 rupees. So the limit is 500 rupees for a circus. If the amount is up to 500 rupees, then it is exempted. If it is more than 500 rupees, the full amount will be taxable. 250 rupees, no, it should be the limit is 500 rupees, not 250 rupees. In the question exemption of rent, can we make the assumption that it's a charitable? Even if you make it's a charitable institution, still it will not be exempted if the value is more than 9,999, Asta. Ambulance service exempt? Yes, ambulance services are exempted completely. Now, seventh one, whether it is taxable or exempted. Taxable. Okay, varying answers. You are saying taxable, you are saying exempted. He's a commission agent for sale of chicks. So, in agriculture exemption, we have seen that certain services provided by a commission agent will be exempted. Okay. When is that commission agent exempted? When he does any commission at a farm or at a place or a what is it called? APMC, Agriculture Produce Market Committee Yard. There, if he collects commission, then it will be exempted. But if he is a commission agent for sale of chicks, will it be exempted? Will any agricultural activities get covered? No, since only the services provided by a commission agent for sale or purchase of agricultural produce is exempted, but for commission agent rendering sale of animals is not exempted. Okay, generally we see that agriculture is exempted. So we think that commission agent is exempt for agriculture produce. So he will also be exempted for animals. No, that's not the right approach. He is exempted for agriculture produce only. So if there is grains, say any fruits or vegetables which is being sold and he is acting as a commission agent, then he'll be exempted. But for sale of animals, he is getting commission, it will be taxable. Chicks are not classified as agriculture produce, so he will not be exempted. Rearing of law life forms of animals for food, fiber are considered as agriculture, but that commission agent who is doing services of commission agents at the agriculture produce marketing. This is not a agriculture produce. It is animal produce. So he will be taxable, Mr. MA. AKJ Foods get an order for supply of processed food from a customer. The customer wants the consignment tested for gluten or specified chemical residues. AKJ Foods does the testing and charges the testing fees for the same. From the customer, AKJ Foods argues that such testing fees should not form part of the consideration for sale as it is a separate activity. Is his argument correct in light of section 15? Correct, Shishimol. Aksar Banu, Aksa Banu, sorry, I'm using a wrong name. Your answer is also right. Ishan, facts have been given. Don't give a subjective answer. Pooja, right? Pasta, right? Should be right but wrong reasoning. Somya, right, but reasoning is incorrect again. When provided by government, this is not provided by government. Ishan, okay. Doesn't matter before or after. If you do before or after, but still, if you're doing it any testing on behalf of the customer, then it has to be included if it is related to the supply. In this case, it is related to the supply. Section 15 mandates the addition of certain elements to the transaction of value. Okay, wherein 15 says that any amount which is charged for anything done by the supplier in respect of the supply at the time or before the delivery of the goods, it shall be included in the taxable value. Before the delivery of the good, if you're doing any activities, then it should be included in the taxable value. Yeah, many people had given this reasoning that yes, since this is an activity done before or at the time of supply, therefore it has to be included. Yes, you're right. So since AKJ Foods does the testing before the delivery of the goods, the charges thereof will be included in the taxable value. Therefore, AKJ Food Private Limited's argument is not correct. The testing fees should be added to the price to arrive at the taxable value of the consignment. It is incidental expenses has to be added, right? Correct. Mazda banners and advertising firm gives an interest-free credit period of 30 days for payment to its customer. This is very interesting. Its customer ABC paid for the supply 32 days after the supply. General term is it gives a interest-free credit period saying that okay, within 30 days you pay, I will not charge you any interest. After 30 days, if you pay, I will charge you interest. Now, this customer, ABC, paid for the supply 32 days after the supply of the service. But Mazda Banners waived that interest payable for delay of 2 days. The department wants to add interest for the 2 days as per the contract. Because what does the contract say? Anybody who pays after 30 days, you have to charge the interest. Now, in this case, she has waived off this interest, but the department is saying, I will go as per your contract. Your contract says for any delay beyond 30 days, you have to collect interest. Now, you have not collected interest, so I will add it. This will be called as notional interest, which will be added to the taxable value. So the question is, you experts, should the notional interest be added to the taxable value or no? Asta right, Ishan right. Shifmola right. Aksar is giving a different answer. No problem, Shobi. Pooja is saying right answer. Okay, so few people, most of you are saying that it should not be added, and few are saying that it should be added. Okay, so let us see what is the correct answer. Ninth one. This is a supply that is valued as per the transaction value under section 15. As price is the sole consideration of the supply and supply is made to an unrelated person, the concept of transaction value has been expanded to include certain elements like interest, but only that interest which is actually payable. Okay. Once waived, the interest is not payable and therefore it is not to be added to the transaction value. It should not be added to the transaction value if it is waived off. Okay. In case of other transactions, you supply, the other person is not paid, then you will pay GST on that. But for interest, it's only when the other person pays it. Only then it is leviable, otherwise it is not. Question number 10. Yeah. Question number 10. What are the necessary conditions? So this is a very simple question. If all the three conditions are satisfied, correct statement is in the agreement, linked to the invoice, and ITC should be reversed by the recipient. Correct. Where it is, there's an agreement, it is linked to the invoice, and ITC is reversed by the recipient. That's a very simple answer. Right? If you know the provisions of section 50, then you will know that these three conditions. Correct? That is what it says. Question number 11 is a lengthier question. So what we'll do is we'll take a break now. We'll take a break of just 5 minutes. So we'll come back at 7:30 and we'll take up the questions. Okay. There is a practical question which I have. So we'll take a few practical questions and then we'll go to value of supply. Yeah. 7:30, Soumya should be good enough. Yes, sir. Yeah, we can start, sir. So next is on the problems. We are still on the, we'll take two more questions on exemptions. Then we'll go to value of supply, because value of supply is very small topic, but we will have problems there also. Okay. Now on the exemption part, ABC is an entity registered and a religious trust under 12AA of the Income Tax Act, and it has furnished to you the following activities which is undertaken by it. You are required to compute its value of taxable supply. Okay, so this is the transaction which has been given to you. इसमें क्या doubt है? Okay, question number 11. Fees charged by yoga camp conducted by the trust, amount received for advancement of educational programs relating to abandoned, orphaned, or homeless children. Then amount received for renting of commercial property, payment made to services received from a service provider located in USA, providing charitable activities. Oh, I think this is to be excluded because this is for the final level, not for you. Yeah. Amount received for activities relating to preservation of forest and wildlife, receipt of old age home meant for residents of 60 years or more. Consideration per month per member is 6,000, inclusive of boarding, lodging, and maintenance. So they have received close to 3 lakh rupees from that activity. Now, for this, you have to compute what is the value of the taxable supply. Eighteen lakhs. Okay. Very fast answer, Axel. But good. You have made a fast answer, but is it correct answer? A presentation in exams for these questions is very important because you're not only expected to give the answer, you have to give reasoning and working notes. Very important working notes, because if it is exempted or taxable, you may just write at zero. Why it is exempted is very important, which you have to mention that also. Only 3 lakhs is taxable. Okay. कौन सा वाला 3 lakhs? First one or the last one? First one. Okay. Ishan is saying 15 lakhs only. So one person is saying 15, one person is saying 18, one person is saying 3 lakhs. Any more biddings coming in? Okay. Very simple. Question number 11. Fees charged for yoga camp. Why do you think it is not exempted? It is also a religious activity. So that is also exempt. Fees charged for yoga camp is exempt. Fees charged for advancement of educational program for abandoned, orphaned, and homeless definitely exempt. Amount received for renting of commercial property, 15 lakhs. That is taxable because it's a renting of commercial property. Payment made to service provider located outside is not taxable. Amount received for activities relating to preservation of forest and wildlife, that is also exempted. So what will be taxable? Only 15 lakh rupees. Okay. So the total taxable value is only 15 lakh rupees. Just 15 lakh is taxable. 50,000 is not taxable because old age home is exempted, money one, right? So the confusion what people had on yoga camp is also part of charitable activities. So that is also exempted. We'll take one more question on exemption. This is also a similar question, so we'll not take this. But one, nothing to be great here. Yeah, educational services we can take. Yeah, educational services will take because we didn't have any theoretical question also on educational services. Income may made few correct in such a question and few are wrong. So that what would be the marking like? Yeah. So marking would be each, we don't in CA exams, there's no marking for the total answer. If few is correct, so for each correct thing, there will be a mark allotted. Say the question is for 14 marks, 2 marks for each point, and 2 marks for your justification. So that's how the marks are generally bifurcated. Next, Fortune Limited, a registered taxable person, provides the following information relating to their services for the month of November 2019. Gross receipts for running a boarding school, including receipts for providing residential dwelling services, rupees 12 lakhs. Okay. Total consideration received is 28 lakh rupees. Conducting private tuitions, 16 lakh rupees. Services, educational services for obtaining a qualification which is recognized by law of a foreign country, that is 8 lakh rupees. Conducting modular employable training, there the value is 10 lakh rupees. What is this line coming? Fees for prospective employers for campus interview, 6,80,000. Renting of furnished flats for temporary stay to different persons, 6,80,000. Compute the value of taxable supply and the amount of GST payable. The above receipts are exclusive of GST and the rate of GST is 18%. Okay, everybody's busy working it out. Good. Amount of GST 53 lakhs. Oh my God. Okay, Asta Sethi, 9 lakhs GST payable, 29 lakh 60,000, 82 lakh 80,000. Lot of bits. Okay, let's break the suspense. Question number 13. The answer is here. Running of boarding school, right? For that, I have a note and a value. Why? What is the working note number one? Working note is running a boarding school is not taxable since education up to higher secondary school is exempt wide entry number 66, and renting of residential dwelling is also exempted. Even though they have given renting of residential dwelling as a separate value, but it is part of the educational services, so that is also exempted. Okay. Value is nil. Conducting private tuitions. Conducting private tuitions is very important. Whether it is exempted, it is not exempted, fully taxable, because private tuitions is not exempted as they do not lead to grant of any qualification recognized by law. So even though if the educational institution is doing it, if they collect the fees for running the boarding school, then it is exempt. But any private tuition which the school is doing, for that there is no degree or any certificate or any qualification which you get. So private tuitions is taxable. Fine. Next, educational services for obtaining a qualification recognized by law of a foreign country. Okay, services for a foreign country. Any education which is recognized by law, but law of the Indian country, if there's any qualification which you are giving, for which you're collecting the fees, right? But that qualification you're getting from a foreign law, that will be taxable. So in this third case, it will be taxable. The working note is education as a part of curriculum for obtaining a qualification recognized by only an Indian law is exempt and the foreign law is taxable. Okay. Next, conducting modular employable skill course, which is approved by NCVT. It is exempted because it is approved by National Council for Vocational Training, that is exempted. Fees from prospective employers for campus interview. It is not covered under the exemption. It will be taxable. So 6 lakhs will be taxable. Value of renting of furnished flats for temporary stay to different people, that is also taxable because short stay by different person in furnished flat is not renting of residential dwelling and thus it is not exempted. So the total value of taxable supply would be 36 lakh 80,000 and GST payable will be 18% on that 6 lakh 62,400. Here with this is very important because a lot of people have given answers but not the accurate one. Which exemption you have to take and which no. If that is not temporary stay, permanent stay, then it is residential dwelling, then it is exempted. No need to add GST amount. No, you don't have to add because the question is what is the GST payable, not for each services. So total, what is the taxable value and what is the GST payable on that? That should be sufficient. I answered your question, Asta. If it is not a temporary stay, then it is a permanent stay. If it is a permanent stay, then it is residential dwelling, and residential dwelling will be exempted. Now let's get into value of supply. That education exemption extra billing question, education exemption, if extra billing is done for hobby classes like this, they are doing for tuition classes, hobby classes. If it is artificially bundled, not a requirement under the school, then that will be taxable. Now, value of supply, question number 17. A philanthropic association makes a substantial donation every year to a reputed private management institution to subsidize the education of low income group students who have gained admission there. Okay. The fees for this individuals is reduced, thereby coming to 3 lakhs a year compared to 5 lakhs a year for other students. So, what would be the taxable value of the services of coaching and instruction provided by the institution? So, if that is ordinary provided in the course of business, then it will be treated as a composite supply asta, then it will not be taxable separately. Yeah. So exemption is over. Now we are getting into value of supply. ठीक है फर्स्ट आपको छूट दे दिया गया एग्जेम्पशन इज ओके टेक द बेनिफिट्स नाउ आई विल ब्रिंग यू टू टैक्सिंग समथिंग which is the transaction value you tell me Pooja which is the transaction value correct answer Soumya wrong Pooja correct Astha correct Ishan Shifimol 17.5 lakhs out of the range Manivanan correct answer So this philanthropic association makes a substantial donation each year to a reputed private management. Now, will this be taxable or exempted is the question. Okay. So the correct answer for this is here. As per section 15(2)(e), the value of a supply includes subsidiary directly linked to a price, excluding central government, state government subsidies. But in this case, the subsidy is not received by the central government or state government. It is not from a government, but it is from a philanthropic association. Therefore, the subsidy is to be added back to the price to arrive at the taxable value, which comes to 5 lakh a year. So the value will be 5 lakh a year. Okay, it will not be 3 lakhs. The price what they generally provide to other students is 5 lakhs. Now, because they're getting subsidy, it is becoming 3 lakhs. But since this subsidy is received from a non-government organization, so it will be 5 lakh itself is the value. Fine. Next question number 18. So whatever questions you're asking, because I'm showing up that I'm reading that, that's why there is a black screen appearing. So if you have any questions, you'll have to unmute and ask me. If you send it on chat, I will not be able to see it. Question number 18. Mesda Banners and Advertising Firm gives an interest-free credit period of 30 days for payment by the customer. This I think we have covered on the 2 days extra. We have dealt it before. Lakshmi Limited of Bhopal is a supplier of machinery. Lakshmi Limited had supplied machinery to PQR Enterprises in Indore on 1st of October 2017. The invoice for supply has been issued on 1st of October 2017. Thus, the time of supply of machinery is 1st October 2017. Lakshmi Limited and PQR Enterprises are not related, and following information is provided. Basic price of the machinery, excluding all taxes, but including design and engineering charges of 10,000 and loading charge of 20,000 is 2 lakh rupees. Is 20 lakh rupees. The basic price of the machinery is 20 lakh rupees. Lakshmi Limited provided 2 years free warranty for the machinery. Lakshmi Limited also provides an extended 1 year warranty on payment of additional charges of 1 lakh rupees. PQR Enterprises has opted for 1 year warranty. Okay. And it means that it has paid 1 lakh rupees. Lakshmi Limited has collected consultancy charges in relation to pre-installation planning of 10,000 and freight and insurance charges from place of removal to the buyer's premises of 20,000 rupees. Then Lakshmi Limited received subsidy of 50,000 from central government for supplying the machinery to backward regions. Since the receiver was located in a backward region, Lakshmi Limited also received 50,000 from a joint venture partner of PQ Enterprises for making timely supply of machinery to the recipient. Okay, so it receives two kinds of subsidy, 50,000 from central government and 50,000 from a PQR Enterprises. A cash discount of 1% on the basic price of machinery is offered at the time of supply. If PQR agrees to make the payment within 30 days, now discount of 1% was given to PQR Enterprises as it agreed to make the payment within 30 days. The machinery attracts GST of 18%, which is 9% CGST, 9% SGST, and IGST rate is 18%. So these are the facts which have been given. Now, we have to calculate what is the tax payable. Yes, Somya, question number 18 is over. Okay. So let's get into the answer for this and see what all has to be included and what not. Price of the machinery. Firstly, what should be the price? You have to give the note here itself, or you can give a separate note, whichever way you are comfortable. Here, I have given the note here itself. Lakshmi Limited and PQR are not related, firstly, and therefore price is assumed to be the sole consideration. Because if the price is the sole consideration, then we can go into the valuation. So we are assuming that price is the sole consideration. Therefore, in terms of section 15.1, the value of the supply is the transaction value. That is the price which is actually paid or payable for the machinery by PQR enterprises. Design and engineering charges are includable in the value of supply, as any amount charged for anything done by the supplier in respect of the supply of goods at the time of or before the delivery of the goods is so includable in terms of section 15.2. Further, loading charges being incidental expenses charged as per the supplier to the recipient are includable in the value as per section 15.2C of the CGST Act. So the value will be what? The value will be 20 lakhs. In the question, they're given 20 lakhs is inclusive of this design and engineering charges. Okay, it excludes taxes, but it includes design and engineering charges and loading charges. Okay, design and engineering is required for the machinery, so we will add it. Next is it provides 2 years free warranty and it provides an extended 1 year warranty. So will be included add extended warranty cost. For this, the note is supply of machinery with supply of ancillary services like extended warranty is a composite supply, the principal supply of which is supply of machinery. Thus, the value of any ancillary supply is includable in the value of the composite supply. So, any extended warranty, what is being taken when you buy a car, you get a provision for extended warranty. So if you're buying it along with the car purchase itself, then that will also be included in the value of the car itself. That is the principle of composite supply. Very important for you from an examination perspective as well. Okay. Next is consultancy charges. Lakshmi Limited has collected consultancy charges in relation to pre-installation planning of 10,000 rupees and freight and insurance charges, right? From place of removal to the prior's premises of rupees 20,000. So this also has to get added 10,000 and 20,000. Consultancy charges in case of pre-installation planning 10,000 we will add, and then freight and insurance charges 20,000 also we will add, right? Because of 15 subsections 2, subsection C, and things like that. If you could just mention section 16 also for addition of any value, I think that also will carry a weightage saying that out of so many provisions, you know at least the main provision. Okay. So consultancy charges in relation to pre-installation planning, that is to be added, and freight and insurance charges, that is to be added as well. Subsidy received from central government, will it be added? No, because any subsidies provided by the central government and state governments are not includable in the value in terms of section 15(2)(e). However, subsidy which is directly linked to the price received from a non-government enterprises is to be included. So they have received two subsidy. One subsidy is from the central government for 50,000 rupees, and also another subsidy of 50,000 from PQR enterprises. So two subsidies have been received. So one is 50,000 from government and one more is from the joint venture. So from government we will not add, but from this joint venture we will add it, right? Then they have given in the last point that they have given 1% cash discount to PQR. So this we will reduce. So discount on base price, the base price is 20 lakhs. So on that 20 lakhs, 1% makes it 20,000. So we'll reduce this. So what will be our value of supply based on all of this? 20 lakhs plus 1, 21, 21, then this 30, 21, 30, and 21, 80 and minus 20. Okay, so 21 lakhs 60,000. GST on that is 1,94,000, each at 9%. Now, why are we saying CGST and SGST? Very important that also. You just have to mention the correct taxes because supplier is in Madhya Pradesh and recipient is also in Madhya Pradesh. That's why you're charging CGST and SGST of 1%, CGST and SGST of 9% each.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening.
Sir, I think the GST amount is 1,94,400.
Okay, that should be a calculation error. Yeah, 1,94,400. You're right.
And sir, another doubt I have,
Yes.
it's more of a question like how much marks this I mean this question can contain. I mean how much marks for this question?
Yeah, this will have a higher mark. This will minimum be for 10 marks.
And sir, for define for considering it as an intrastate supply, we have to define intrastate supply also, no?
Correct. Correct.
And so if we have to like we have to define place of supply also if place of supply is also required.
Yes, the place of supply of machinery is the location of the machinery at the time at which the movement terminates. So you have to mention the place of supply and the why it is a interstate or a intrastate supply.
Okay, sir. Yes. Thank you, sir.
Yes, Miss Pooja.
Sir, you have less 1% of 20 lakh, but in 20 lakh there are other charges also, and in this question it is given that basic charge ka 1%. So why 20 lakh you take for discount? So
Yeah. So there is one view that they have mentioned 20 lakhs as basic price. So I've taken 20 lakhs 1%, but it includes design and engineering charges, which is 10,000 and 20,000. So you can make your assumption saying that the basic price is 19 lakh 70,000. On that, I will take 1%. That can also be one view. That is also possible.
okay sir, but sir एक और question, sir 1 year warranty it is अनदर मतलब ये अनदर ट्रांजेक्शन नहीं होगी सर जो वारंटी वाली?
लेकिन जो परचेज करते हैं तभी अगर वारंटी लेते हैं तब वो अलग ट्रांजैक्शन नहीं होगा, उसके साथ वाला ट्रांजैक्शन ही रहेगा। अगर 1 साल बाद अलग से करेंगे देन इट विल बी अ सेपरेट ट्रांजैक्शन।
ओके सर, थैंक यू।
थैंक यू।
Sir, in cash discount, why we deducted it? Because we don't know whether he will make the payment after 30 days or no.
But it was agreed that PQR Enterprises agrees to make the payment and discount at 1% was given by PQR Enterprises. Since they have given, then we will have to reduce it. If
Okay, sir.
PQR
Sir,
has
here
not agreed, then it's fine.
not
Since
given.
PQR has agreed, yes.
Okay, sir. Sir, in that extra billing point, I want to ask that if that it is artificially bundling, but it is provided in ordinary course of business, and the extra
Mhm.
billing is done
Extra billing
for educational, hobby classes or extracurricular activities.
even if it is an ordinary course of business, it will still be treated as a separate transaction. In the ordinary course of business itself, the educational institution provides tuition, but the tuition is not a mandatory requirement for the educational services. So it will be treated as a separate supply.
Then it will be taxable.
Correct.
Okay, sir.
Okay. We'll go to the next question. Question number 20. Admission to True Theatre is 90 rupees per ticket for a Tamil movie as well for a Hindi movie. Okay, the True Theatre is a theatre wherein they are charging movie entry fees as 90 rupees for both Tamil movie and Hindi movie. But there is a entertainment tax, but entertainment tax is 10% on Tamil movies and 20% on other languages. Okay. In the month of November, True Theatre sold 2,000 tickets of Tamil movies and 1,500 tickets of Hindi movies. Find the value of taxable supply of service, applicable rate of GST 18% and 28% respectively. Find the GST liability, if any. This I want everybody to work out because it's a simple question, but very relevant for you. Three lakh 60,000 rupees. That is a GST liability. They have asked for the value of the taxable supply and the GST liability as well. Okay. So let's go with the answer for this question number 90. Okay. So the rate per ticket is 90 rupees for both Tamil movie and Hindi movie. Entertainment tax, here it is 10%, here it is 20%. So entertainment tax will we add? Yes, we will add, because any taxes other than CGST, SGST and IGST has to be added. So we will add that respective taxes also. So value of the taxable supply is 99 and Hindi movie it is 108. Applicable GST rate, they have said 18% and 28% respectively. Matlab 18% for Tamil movie and 28% for Hindi movie. So Tamil movie, what is the calculation we have? That they have 2000 tickets and the value will be 99 rupees. So 1,98,000 rupees. Hindi movie, it is 108 into, because 108 is the value here, into 1,500 tickets. So it is 1,62,000 rupees. So on this value, what will be the GST liability on 1,98,000 on that 9% makes it 17,820, 17,820. Here there's no IGST question, right? Because place of supply will be where the event is conducted. It is conducted in the state. So it will always be CGST and SGST, and 1,60,000 into 14% each. So this is the total GST liability. Clear? We'll take one more small question. Last question for the day. You can take this. Yeah. List price of the goods is 1,25,000 rupees. Tax levied by municipal authorities on sale of goods 15,000. CGST and SGST chargeable on the goods 19,200. Packing charges not included in the price above 15,500. Floral advertisers conceptualized and designed the advertisement campaign for a new product which is launched by Jupiter Stampings for a consideration of 25 lakh rupees. Floral advertisers owed 4,500 to one of the vendors in relation to the advertisement services provided by Jupiter Stampings. Such liability of floral advertisers was discharged by Jupiter Stampings, and Jupiter Stampings delayed the payment of consideration and thus paid 50,000 rupees as interest. Determine the value of taxable supply. Okay, since there is paucity of time, I will only explain the answer over here, that they have conceptualized, they provide for a consideration of 25 lakh rupees. Now, floral advertisement had to pay somebody 4,50,000 rupees, and that was paid by the Jupiter Stampings. So will it be included in the value? And the third part is 50,000 rupees interest. So the answer for this is here. What is the service charges? The service charges 25 lakh rupees. Payment made by Jupiter Stampings to the vendor. So any liability of the supplier which is meant by the receiver, that has to be added. So we will add that. And then interest for delay. Since they have actually paid it, we have to include that also. So the value of the taxable supply is very simple. 25 lakhs plus 450 plus 50,000, 30 lakh rupees. So this table is not relevant for this. Clear? Very simple question. For this, you may just expect like 2 marks or 3 marks question, or it could be a MCQ also, because not much to be discussed here. What all value you will include. Sometimes you may get confused that how can it be simple? So you may get confused, but you will have to be careful that yes, wherever legitimately as per section 15 valuation provisions, if something is to be added, you will add that. Okay. So all of this will be added up here. Okay, so those were the questions what we had today. If you have any doubts in this, any of these chapters, just few minutes we can add. Yes, Ishan.
Sir, I have a doubt in government services by government. In that there are pure services and composite services. Sir, what does pure and composite here means?
Pure
How about
services means pure labor services where
okay,
there is no component of goods at all, right? Like a chartered accountant,
yes,
a laborer providing some labor to the government, some cleaning services.
yes,
Okay. Those some say them garbage collection services. They
yes,
are all pure labor services.
yes, yes.
And if it is a mixed service where some goods also is involved, that is a composite service.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yes, Asta.
Sir, in GTA it is written that the method of invoicing used by GTA will not generally alter the nature of the composite supply of services. Sir, here what is method of invoicing?
Like they can raise a invoice with fuel charges or without fuel charges, or they may just say my uh, part of this is reimbursed. Whatever method they follow, that will not be relevant, is what it meant.
Sir, can it be mean that invoice will be different for different services? Still, it will be composite
Yeah,
supply.
it will still be composite. If they call it as delivery, if they call it as consignment note, whatever they call, it will still be treated as a value of supply.
Means, sir, here it is packing different invoices being charged, and for transshipment different invoices being charged.
No, whatever the method of invoice they charge, if it is a GTA, it will be treated as a GTA service only.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Hello everyone. One thing I would like to tell you, as you are already aware, students, that next class is on the very important topic, that is input tax credit. And as we know that input tax credit is the backbone of GST, and in the examination also we get one compulsory question in which minimum net GST liabilities are. So there is an implication of the provisions of input tax credit. So I request all of you to please revise the topic before attending the class, because then only you will be able to simultaneously solve the questions when sir will be taking the class, and also you will be able to participate in an active manner. So please go through the topic input tax credit. You may go through the live virtual classes of input tax credit that are available on YouTube. Please go through the topic input tax credit before joining the next class. And this class, don't do not miss the class. It is really very important. It is going to be very helpful for you for your forthcoming examination. So I expect that all of you will attend, and all of your friends who are there, please also let them give them the message that the next class is on ITC, and wishing you all the best for your examination. See you in the next class. Thank you. Good night. Bye. Yes, done.